Hello, everybody. I am here. I know I, as usual, pushed this back 1,000 times. But I think people will understand why. There's certainly been quite a bit going on, and obviously um, I'm not competing with people for folks' attention when it comes to over here. So I knew I was like, you know what, it's kind of pointless for me to go live right now because I will be talking to myself. Although that is perfectly okay with me. Sorry, I'm getting my adult um, fidget toy silly putty thing ready to go here. Um, so I had like in my head everything that I. You got your driver's license 29 years today, really? Oh wow. Hey Kellyanne. Hello Michelle. Um, and hello Dave. Um, oh you're here. Okay. Oh, and both Daves. Okay. Hello Dave. I can't see. And I have my computer way further back now too. So I moved my laptop because, now that I've done a face reveal, I'm like, why not do that more often? So I'm trying to like find a nice background for myself on here. But yes, I wasn't necessarily intending to do a face reveal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was because I kept hitting live without it and StreamYard like would not go. It kept saying there's too much traffic. So I decided that I was like, we're just gonna try it this way, and it went. So I'm like, whatever. So my face is super puffy. I take rounds of prednisone every couple times a year because of my spine injury. I have a lot of inflammation in my spine, and if the pain gets really really bad, usually a round of prednisone can take that down a little bit. But it does make your face super puffy. As mine is, and I didn't I didn't realize it was still so bad, but that's okay. That's okay. I was just kind of embarrassed. I was like, oh, all right, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. But hi, Mike, and yes. So I had everything I was gonna say planned out, and I was like, I was revved, I was ready to go, I was ready to come on here, and then like things kept happening, like not even just online, but like in my house. So I've just been like trying to figure it out, but warning for a little bit here. There might be some and I'm gonna call it like soft core drama tonight, just because I wanted to discuss a few things because I can, and why not, right? I don't really have a necessarily a topic tonight. Although my dad has agreed to come back on, and I'm hoping that'll be next week, and we will discuss some other cool topics. I think that I actually think he enjoys talking to you guys, which I don't blame him. I enjoy talking to you guys too, and I definitely think that I think that he had a good time. I think that he was impressed by the questions. I think that he was impressed that there was like the chat going on, and I think he enjoys doing that. So he has no problem coming back. None. So he will be probably joining us again next week. And yeah, I mean, and it's crazy though, because like when you come on here, and all this stuff, like I'm so distracted. Like I literally had it in my head what I was going to talk about, but I mean, so much has gone on today that I don't even know where to start. Today has been one of those days where I have been on YouTube from probably this morning until when I just came on here, which I'm embarrassed to say, but I'll own it. I'll own it. And I feel like at no point in time was there not something that like got my attention. So, hey Nicole, and yeah. So I mean, I at first I had like one thing I want to talk about, and now I'm like I don't even know where to start with what I want to talk about because there's just so much. One thing I will address at some point is I know I did a poll at one point to see how long people have been in this community, and I can't remember. I need to go double check on the results, but my impression is that a lot of people have been here for quite some time. I've been here for over a year, and I feel like a lot of people don't know what the history of this community and whatnot. And it's hard to get a sense of that because everything gets deleted. So those of us who remember what was going on around the same time last year or last May, maybe people who are newer haven't seen it. And I'm like in my head thinking to myself, I'm like, what is even going on in this community right now? I see a lot of good stuff going on. I do. And I'm going to try and focus on those things because, life's too short to focus on the negatives all the time. I don't want to be that person, but I definitely have seen some good things and some good conversations, and I am certainly taking a different approach. Now, I've debated whether I wanted to wanted to say this publicly or not because it makes me seem like a huge loser, and I know people will make fun of it. Because they already make fun of everything. So, I mean, I'll be comfortable saying it. So, since I started to veer away from doing drama, and I don't even consider myself to have ever been a drama channel. Like, I'm terrible at doing drama. I can comment on a lot of the stuff that goes on, but I've never my channel and my personality is never like to go at somebody. I'm not like that. I'm very laid back. I'm genuinely a nice person. I have no ill intent towards anyone. And I think that, I think that gets overlooked a lot. But since I stopped doing that, and since everything kind of went down, I'm not going to rehash it because it's not worth it. But the stuff that happened between me and some other people on here, where they thought it was appropriate to do certain things, and apparently they have enough pull in this community to do this, but I've hid my sub count, but I will be perfectly honest with you guys. I have lost 126 subscribers to this day from just doing that. And for a small channel like myself, that's a big hit. I'm not lying when I say my channel has taken a big hit. And it's demoralizing because like I haven't figured out how to come back from it. I've tried, and it's like no matter what I do, it's not, and the problem with it is, and people are like, don't care. People are like, just move on. You're doing great. Continue. Like, I understand that. I think I'm putting out really great content. I'm not like getting upset about that. What I'm getting upset about is that, if you don't get, if you don't have people in your chat, if you don't get those likes on your videos, if nobody's watching your stuff, you're not going to get put in the algorithm and you're not going to grow. And unfortunately, there are people here who, for whatever reason, think weird, like have it out for me. I don't even know why. I've never done anything to anybody yet, and I don't think it's a coincidence either that after all of that stuff went down, that's when my videos started getting like mass dislikes. I don't think that was a coincidence, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. I mean, I can't prove either way. Even when I was doing videos about Natasha, guys, I never got that many dislikes on a video. Never. Not even on the ones about her. Never. So it makes you wonder, because like my lives, like guys, I'm laid back. I'm not coming on here to talk shit about people. I don't want to do that. I like most people. I really, it takes a lot to piss me off. It takes a lot to push yourself past the point of redemption with me. Yeah, right. And Nicole and I get that. And then people are like, well, if you can't hack it, then get out. Well, I'm not going anywhere. This is my community. I've been here for over a year. And maybe that's my own fault in being stubborn, but I like the people here. So I am determined where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm gonna figure it out. If I have to, I'm gonna figure it out, guys. I really am. And I'm determined. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care if I have 2 people in my chat. I mean, I get it. Like, drama is much more appealing, but it seems that even people liked my version of drama, which I think is much more low key. And I don't think I ever came on here and did anything that, jeopardized my integrity, I never came on here and did anything that I wasn't okay with. I never came on here, doing anything that I'm embarrassed about, and anything I have, I've addressed. Hey, X amount of words. Oh, thank you. You guys are, hi, Madhouse. You guys are great. I love the people that support me. I know a lot of people do, but it's like, you notice how like notifications don't go out. Well, I feel like there's a reason for that. I feel like there's like, it's an algorithm thing. I feel like, and if people don't watch your content, it's not going to recommend it to anybody. That's just how it works. So, it's like my lives don't even break 100 views anymore. And I'm like, I know I'm not boring, but then I get the emails because people see that. And, I got one email the other day that literally said, you suck, you're boring, nobody wants you here. And all sorts of other things like, what was it? Oh, I don't have what it takes. I am not, what was the word? I forget the word they used, but it was somebody trying to use a big word that didn't do it right. But basically saying that I don't hold a candle to any of the creators in this community. And I might print that one out. Not because, but I'm motivated by my haters. I didn't realize I had haters. I've never had haters in my entire life. So, this is new for me. But that's okay. You know, if you don't think I don't think I want to hold a candle. I'm not here to compete with anybody. I don't want to hold a candle next to anybody. I want to do my own damn thing. Yeah, Kellyanne, I think a lot of people do get tired of it. Like, I'm tired of it, and that's me. But you know, I'm not knocking how other channels do their thing. Like that has nothing to do with me. So, you know, I'm gonna do my channel the way I do mine. And I don't think I've ever done it the wrong way. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just like I'm motivated to do better here. You know, I just don't care. But then I'm like, you know, I don't have to be, I'm not gonna be a drama channel. I want to be a channel that um I just want to be a channel who literally comes on here and puts out good content. I mean, my dad is willing to come on here for whatever I would like him to come on and chat because he enjoys doing it. So it's not like I have to twist anybody's arm to do it. He enjoys it. He enjoys having that conversation with you guys. Honest to God, he does. So I have that going for me. That's something unique that I offer. There's that. You know, I like to think I'm relatively intelligent. I am, you know, kind of well spoken. I do say and you know, and those things a lot. I do, yes, but I am educated. I'm well spoken. I feel like I have a lot of thought and like ideas and things to offer, and I feel like that's something that's good when you do, you know, when you're creating things. You know, I have a lot of stuff going for me. I love true crime. I love some of these cases that I want to deep dive. I have access to some things that are unique because of my dad, and whether it be experts on things or stuff like that that I want to share with you guys. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. But at the same time, I'm also not going to box myself into a corner where I won't do commentary on the community. I've made that decision too. I don't think I've ever done drama, but you know, this is, and anything that I do is always going to be respectful. It's always going to be truthful and factual, or else I say otherwise. I will preface anything with, you know, I'm speculating. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to be a source of misinformation. So, yeah, Madhouse, you're not wrong, but I get that because a lot of people use YouTube as an escape and as a distraction. So a lot of people don't want to come on here and have like a really like thought-provoking, heavy conversation. I know that, but that's not all that I want to do though. So I have a lot of things like in my head going around that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to try everything out, and you know, if things go well, it does. But what I wanted to point out, and the point of me even saying it, is that I want people to know that even, you know, those of you who have come to my channel since day one, you guys know what I'm all about. You guys know, anybody who has watched me knows that I am not anything other than what I represent myself as. I am a genuine person. And in time that will show. In time, I know I just need to ride that out. However, regardless of that, like even I am not immune from getting these targeted attacks, and I don't understand why. I would like to know what I did that you can prove with any receipt, because there are none that would warrant that. Like, why are we treating people like that? What did I do to deserve that? You know, and I get that. I get, you know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it does frustrate me. And I've debated even coming on and saying it because I don't want to be seen as, you know, somebody who's a crybaby or, you know, is complaining about things or getting upset that things that don't matter. Well, that's not it at all. And of course it's going to bother me. Of course it's going to bother me. It would bother anybody to get emails like that. Even though I know it's not true, the problem is that to an extent, regardless of whether I care or not, how this stuff works. Hi, Megan. How this stuff works is if you're not getting views, you're not getting likes on if you don't get those things, you are not getting put in the algorithm. So nobody sees you. Nobody sees my videos if that happens. And it sucks. This is why people buy views. This is why people do that stuff. There is a legitimate business reason for doing that. And I see that now, but I'm still not going to do it. But, you know, but I see that now because that was actually how they marketed buying these views and subs. To kind of bypass that problem. But that's how you get in the algorithm. If nobody watches your stuff and nobody likes your videos, nobody's going to see you. And there are so many people that don't even know that I have a channel. And, and I also feel bad. I don't want to go into anybody's chat and like promote myself. I know that bothers a lot of people. That's never been what I want to go to people's chats for. I like to go to people's chats to hang out and chat with people I enjoy. But at the same time, there's gotta be something. And I'm gonna figure it out. I'm determined. I'm tenacious as fuck, guys. I'm not going anywhere. So I will figure out. Well, Madhouse, I've technically I've had this channel since 2011. I've uploaded sporadically stuff, but I didn't come on here as a creator and try and build a channel until December. No. But I'm not competitive with other people. I'm competitive with myself. I hold the bar very high for myself. I have high standards for myself and what I'm able to present. I don't it's in my own head. But at the same time, I want to say I appreciated each and every one of you, but I also want to bring attention to some of the stuff that goes on, and I just don't get it. Especially when, I heard a lot of people talking today about this whole concept of behind the scenes, of this whole concept of this just people going from chat to chat or talking to each other behind the scenes, trying to make things seem like it's one way when it's not. um it's and I wanted to touch on that a little bit because it's true. It is so true, because half the reason that there are people is because of misinformation, is because somebody somewhere, I don't know who, I don't know where this happened, I don't know where, thing that I've literally I've never, first of all, I've never spoken to that person ever. I don't know where that would come from. Like, and it was news to me that I was like plotting with somebody. But nobody, but like once it's said, once somebody with influence says that shit, don't even bother defending yourself, because the people who believe it, and they run with it. And that's how this misinformation spreads. So people are hearing these facts about other creators when a lot of them aren't true. There are people that I've even had misconceptions about and decided, I'm like, well, I wouldn't like that person, but I didn't even know that creator or that person. And it's so easy. I fall victim to it. I also need to get better at fact checking, and sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes there's no easy answer to it. And I noticed that because I've seen a lot of stuff said about other people that have turned out not to be true at all. And then I'm like, why would I even believe that? But I do it too. I mean, I think it's something that humans do. But I feel bad because I know that there's a lot of good people here, and I think that the people who are doing this will come to light. I feel like in time, who is behind all of this is gonna be front and center. But in the meantime, I mean, because I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin, because it's never who you think it is what I've learned. But what I don't understand though is that I don't know. Some of the stuff that I see going on, I don't get it. And that's why I brought that up with my dad about and I know that there's like a whole, like, I know it's more complicated than just this, but asking him about the stuff that happens on the internet, like, I feel like I would never tell somebody how to run their own channel, right? So if they want to have somebody on their channel, that is not up to me to decide. I have no influence over that whatsoever, nor do I want any. However, I feel like I don't even want to say most of us. I say that because that's my rational brain saying, how do I not, I don't know, polarize something. But in my opinion, guys, in my opinion, there is no justifiable reason for what happened to Granny. None. Zero. Nobody should be doing that shit ever. And I strongly feel that way because I hadn't even heard the hi AJ, good to see you. I'm like working myself up here, but I hadn't even seen the whole video on that because I'd heard bits and pieces, but I hadn't heard. And when I heard the whole thing, I was angry afterwards. I was angry because why are we doing it? Why are we at a point where that's at all acceptable? And why is it even a debate whether that's acceptable or not? That's just my opinion. AJ, we're talking about that CPS call, the fake one, which I think is like even more threatening because That's somebody who's like making sure, she knows, well, we know where your parents live. We know who they are. We have all of this information. Like that's intimidation. Like, what the heck? And I also think calling CPS in general is not okay at all either. I want to make that very clear. But to use that as an intimidation tactic, to have the motives you have behind that, like that's not right, guys. It's not right. I don't care if you like her or not. Like, I don't get that. And that made me angry. It made me angry that there are people in this community that are capable of doing that. And for what? For what? What was the purpose? What? I don't understand, and I will never understand because that's not how I think. I don't think like that. I don't. It makes no sense. And then what I also don't like though is that then it becomes murky on what's going on, and nobody, like, if you did something, just own your shit, man. Like, do you see how many people are being hurt in all this? Honest to God, guys, like, how you can hear the hurt in people's voices. I have heard more people cry in the past, I don't know, week than I've heard on YouTube ever. Right, AJ, and I appreciate that you can say that. And that I appreciate that. I do. Because that's what I'm saying. You don't have to like somebody to acknowledge that something is wrong. That is, I have always said that since day one that I've been on here. Day one. And that applies to everybody. But I've heard a lot of crying today, AJ, and not even yet in this week. And you can hear the hurt in some people's voices. And these are people that I've never heard upset like that. So, and then what makes me angry, and like I said, guys, warning, I'm doing like softcore drama tonight just because it's been a day and I want to process it. So I'm going to be on here and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Why not? Because I have opinions. But, and then I see people in the chat and they're like, well, if it's bothering you so much, then you should get off YouTube. I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's reasonable. You don't have to be a strong person to be on YouTube. If you want to be a creator, I guess you have to have thick skin, sure. But it doesn't mean you need to, tell yourself it's normal and okay to expect abuse. I don't stand for abuse. You will not come on here and abuse me. It's not going to happen. I will stand up for myself every single time. I will not be treated like that. You will not treat me like that. But it does, it affects me. Like, I don't consider myself to have thick skin. I just don't stand for it. Period. But some people, this is people's escape. This is people's distraction. There are people that are miserable in their real lives. A lot of us are miserable. I mean, I'm content, but that doesn't mean I'm like happy all the time. But I've used YouTube as a distraction sometimes. So to tell somebody that they shouldn't be here if they can't handle, that's not even reasonable. Everybody has the right to be on here. I'm talking about subscribers, guys. Everybody. Hi, Dark Magician. Everybody has the right to be on here. Everybody. I agree, Madhouse. Most of the pain comes from private chat and gossip. Yep. 100%. And I'm actually gonna address that as well. But seriously, like, people, guys, like, people, subscribers, like, this is like something that used to be fun. When it stopped becoming fun for me is when I really had a wake-up call. And I was like, you know what? I don't really care how many subscribers I lose. And I lost many. I told you guys, since everything went down with a certain creator, and I'm sure they're smiling and loving it, but that's okay. I'm not going to talk about it. But I'll be honest, since then, and I also think hi, Violet. I think a lot of it also had to do with the fact that I was, I'm not doing drama as much. And I get that. And I expected that. But I have lost 126 subscribers in the past month. And that is I'm in, like, if you look at my analytics, I'm in, like, negative numbers. It's bad. It's really bad. And I know that some people are probably laughing and think that's so wonderful. But I've done nothing I work hard for my channel. Hey, Detective Turtlegum. I work hard for my channel. I do my best to put actual content. I've been working on so much for you guys. So, and I know the right people appreciate it. And I want to show people that this is like the damn it. It's not even just, it drives me up a wall. And I will touch on that too, because I'm not done. I'm not done with people. I'm not done. I have things to say. And I would, why, like, we need to be better than that, guys. We really do. We really do. And I know that there are so many people that are like, well, if you do drama, then right. Yes, I open myself up to commentary. I sure do. If I mention you and I talk about you, yes, I absolutely do open myself up for commentary. What I don't open myself up to is targeted bullying, harassment. That I don't sign a waiver for that, guys. Um, I just don't. I don't that doesn't sign me up for that. And I'm tired of people, not people, well, yes, people. Nobody in this chat, but trying to tell me that I need to be okay with that. I'm not going to be okay with anything. Yeah. Right, disagreements are expected. Yeah, I'm Dark Magician. That's right. And I'm going to do commentary about what I want to do commentary on. The problem in this community is that you open your mouth about somebody and they just use that as a green light to go at you in the nastiest way possible. And I don't want to deal with that. So that's why I was like, you know what, first of all, for me as a person, and people will see this, nobody's personal life should be brought into YouTube. I actually 100% agree with you on that. And that's gotten me some shit in the past too. And I'm sorry, guys, this is Beeplus After Dark, because when I'm passionate about something, I lose my filter a little bit. But even that is nothing like anything people are expecting. But and I've always felt that way too, AJ, about everybody. And that's why even in my videos that I had done about a particular person, I never brought that into it, because I do strongly believe that as well. Because we don't need, like, especially with the creators on here, like, why it's like a contest to see who can find the nastiest thing on that person. And I haven't, I'll address it, like the information that was released on me, right? There were two people that had that information. Okay. Two people. And like, I don't want to have anything bad said about either of these people in my chat. All right. So two people knew that about me. One person I talked to a little bit months ago about it, and then one person more recently. So, and I'm just talking about this in general, like, what the person that actually had that information on me the longest, because about my recovery and my struggles with that kind of stuff was actually Granny. And I hadn't talked to her in a really long time, but you know what, she never released that information on me. Never, not once. And I was, when I was hurt that happened, because and she and I haven't always gotten along on here, but you know what, even though she didn't care for me, you know what she didn't do? You know what she didn't do? She didn't release that information on me, ever. And sometimes, like, you just have to think to yourself, like, am I missing the big picture here? So I just want to say that out loud. Because yeah, I needed to, because that says a lot about her in that way. She never did that, and she probably wanted to, but she didn't. And I appreciate that very, very much so, because nobody else had that information besides her and the one who did do that. But the problem with that is somebody mentioned behind the scenes, and I do really, really want to address that, because what happened to me was because something was said to them that I was doing something behind the scenes. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, first of all, I've never spoken to Kim outside of here. Like, I've talked to her in chats. I've been a subscriber over there for over a year now. Because I discovered them during Watts Island. And I'm trying to be completely transparent with everybody, because I give zero fucks now at this point, like zero, absolutely none. I am like going to be a standing, living proof that people don't have to like each other to have preferences. Like, I can like people that don't like each other. I just can, and I'm going to, because I like a lot of people. There are a lot of really, I don't always agree with things people do, and I'll back away if I start to not agree with stuff that they're doing. And I know that some of them notice it, some of them don't care. I'm not important, but yeah, Dark Magician, I agree with you on that. And I was going to address a little bit of that later too. That's on my list. It sure is. It is on my list. There are some inflated egos, that is for sure, and that is on my list of things. But, and I'm not trying to be on here and coming in here for anybody. I'm not. Like, I try to see the good in everybody. I try to. I always do. And I'm like really one of the most forgiving people, even though I shouldn't. I'm really an easygoing person. And when I see when I see the things that I've seen said about me, some of it makes me laugh, but some of it, guys, there was a person who used to come into my chat often. And ever since, this was said about me, I haven't seen them again. And they commented directly under it. And I can't help but wonder if that was part of the reason. Why are you calling me a sociopath? Like, what have I done that would ever indicate that I am a sociopath or evil? I don't get that. Please back up your statement. Like, I get being wary of people who might genuinely be nice. I get that. But and it was somebody that I've never even spoken to, or else they were under an alt. I'm a sociopath? Okay. Well, sure. And I'm like going, my ADD brain is everywhere and I'm probably going to get scolded. It's okay. And then I heard somebody saying, something about, how you behave, reflects your, I'm sorry, being an addict reflects your upbringing. Well, guys, you've met my dad. So the fact that I have struggled with substance abuse, do you think that reflects on my parents? Because I have wonderful parents. I had nothing but the best offered to me. My trauma came from things that had nothing to do with them. So let's think about that. I don't think that's fair. Why are you going to say that I didn't like that? I heard that tonight. I don't even know the name of the person. I heard it. And when I heard it, I like immediately went into my notes app and was like, must address this. Like, are you really going to say that? No, nope. Did you see the comment, or I'm not sure. It I don't know. It looked awful like essay. It looked an awful like them calling me a sociopath. I hope it was a typo, because the person underneath it was like, wow, I didn't think that. I hope that's not true. But I haven't seen that person again. So, I can't help but wonder. And if that was a typo, then, that makes me feel better. If that's what people were trying to say, because how I read that was calling me a sociopath. And I was like, what the heck? But yeah, and Madhouse, exactly. So there are people that come from really awful upbringings that turn out just fine, and vice versa. Like, it really has nothing to do. Addiction is its own beast. Addiction does not know class. It does not know gender. It does not know race, ethnicity, on and on and on and on and on. It affects everybody. It can affect anybody. And I hate hearing, like, I've heard out of other people's mouths, well, it wouldn't happen to my kid. You don't know that. If you like, I've introduced you guys to some of my family. No, I'm living proof of that. And I don't know. Have you? I actually haven't seen it, Violet. So if you did, it wasn't anything that offended me. And I get that. Wait, hold on, about me not being on the fence. I wouldn't say that I'm not on the fence though. Like, I don't, what I'm trying to say, and I appreciate your apology. But what I want to say is, I don't want to pick any side. I want to go where I used to go before I became a creator. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy the creators that I enjoy. I don't want to have to justify it or be sneaky about it, but I get you, Violet. I know where you're coming from. I do. I know where you're coming from. And yeah, you were never on my list of anybody that has upset me. So, but I do know what you're talking about, because, people are allowed to talk about me. That's fair. If you don't like the way I did something, or you think I could have handled something differently, by all means, like, I'm not going to get offended if I see my name mentioned in a chat. No, what'll get my attention is if people are doing it inappropriately. So I never thought anything you did was like that, Violet. I get you. Never had a problem with you in any way, shape, or form. And I agree, Nicole. People need to stop shaming addiction. Like, you have no, like, people always see it, and even myself, because, like, I have a lot of shame about it. I have a lot of shame about the things that I've done in my life. But, especially, and I had somebody even say, how is that possible? Your dad is, who he is. Well, that doesn't matter. None of that matters, guys. There are people, like, look at Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's brother is in active addiction, and she had her issues with substance abuse, and she comes from like one of like, the elite family. Like, it's not just like, the lower class, all any of that. It has nothing to do with that shit. Hey, Without Borders, good to see you. Yes, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with somebody's upbringing. Like, really low. Like, why are we doing that? It makes no sense. And it just shows how uninformed people are about addiction. And I really appreciated that my dad referenced addiction the way he did. In the live I did the other day, he said substance. It wasn't abuse. It was something. It was the new DSM reference for it, and I don't even. I can't remember what it is, but I was appreciative that he said it like that, because substance something, I can't remember, but that's the way it should be. Like, a lot of people are ill-informed about that, and it can happen to just about anybody. I mean, I would go into opinion about I agree with you, AJ. I agree. I haven't so much seen that myself, but, well, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right. I don't frequent that realm, so yeah, okay, but I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I agree with you that addiction shouldn't be used as an excuse, or like you shouldn't be able to play that card. I get what you mean, and I agree with you on that. But I mean, that's all. I can't take it anymore. There is a lot of manipulation stuff. You are so right. And I'm just tired of the addict shaming. You have no, like, the guys, those of us who have gone through, I never did NA or anything like that. It wasn't for me. I went to meetings because I had to, but I didn't go. I never been it, but it's not a one size fits all in terms of, like, your journey. And it works for many, many people. For me, it was, other resources. But, like, the people who go through recovery, like, we've done so much work on ourselves. I'm telling you, I learned more about myself in the past 4 years than I think most people learn about themselves in a lifetime. And I stand by that. 100%. A lot of people, go their entire life without addressing or working through their traumas and their, what led them to whatever point they're at, or things that make them unhappy or anxious or whatever. And, to go through recovery means identifying those things, because a lot of those are what's leading to you, for you to use, to try and numb those, and you have to work through it to be successful with it. So I don't know. I feel like, people, and maybe I'm just speaking because I know how, but I feel like, or else, like, you've been through it, or somebody, or close to somebody who's been through it. There's a lot of misinformation, and people, they don't get it. And I'm glad to see more talk about it, honestly. But it obviously, and I always stood up for it. I never was specific as to why, because I wasn't ready to share that yet, but I've always said that about that. Like, there was at one point that, what was it? Oh, right. What was it? And I did stand up when Natasha said that Jess chose drugs over her family. I was very outspoken about that, and I did mention that it's because it was something that hit home with me. But, like, it's just statements like that, and I'm just using her because she said it, like, on a live. And it definitely rubbed me the wrong way, but I've seen it in chats and stuff like that too. Yeah, therapy is scary. It is. Yeah, working on yourself and addressing. For me to address the things that I've done, to accept the fact that it was me who did those things, is incredibly hard and incredibly shameful. I have done some, and I've always been a kind person. I've always been a nice person. I've never wanted to hurt people, ever, in my entire life. That I am not a malicious person, but the fact of the matter is I've hurt people very badly in my life, and I am trying to repair those relationships with my dad, with my mom, my sister. And it was all from when I was, struggling with a lot of things, and it's not an excuse, and I can't blame that on anything but myself. That was me. I did those things. But I'll let you know right now, if anybody here knew me prior to 2017, I'm not the same person. And I continue to, I work every day on it. I really do. And it's a commitment. And if you're not ready to do it, you're not ready to do it. And it's not a one size fits all. It's not a quick fix. Like, you don't just go to rehab and it works. I mean, some people I guess that works for some people, I'm sure, a very small percentage, but you have to be ready to do the work. It's not a quick fix. So anybody who's gone through recovery, I promise you, has done a lot of work on themselves. And followed the old, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Exactly. And thank you, AJ. I appreciate you recognize, and I know nice girls finish last, but I don't mind, I don't mind that, but I'm glad people acknowledge that, because I've heard people say things like that, I'm all of these things. And that's what I'm trying to say, is it's so frustrating to see things written about yourself that are just so off the mark. But I learned pretty quickly that it is pointless. It is pointless to go into those chats to try to defend yourself, because a lot of people don't want to hear it. It is pointless to come on here and even talk about it sometimes, because when people's minds are made up, they're made up. Yeah, Violet, I understand that too. Yeah. And it is hard not to worry. It is. I get that. I get that on a lot of levels, actually. Um, but and it's true. In my family, I distanced myself from my family because I was ashamed, and I've gone through all this with them. But it is an equal opportunity destroyer, Kellyanne. It doesn't affect any particular, like, it's not just a poor person problem. Part of my saying that, because I don't even want to say it like that. It's not an anything problem. It affects every socioeconomic group, and let's be honest. And it's for stuff yeah, let me tell you guys, yeah, it is insane. If I had a dollar for every other person that I have met who has said that their issues with certain things started after their wisdom teeth being removed, I would be a very rich person. So let's be honest, it really, there shouldn't be judgment on that whatsoever. And people don't get it, or else they've been through it. And it frustrates me, because there's so many other things that we could go at people about, right? Like how they treat people on YouTube. I don't stand for bullying. I don't stand for that stuff. And I think that a lot of people always just want to focus on the negatives. If a channel has done something once and that's all and that's what makes it so hard, though, to veer away from the drama. And that's also the point I wanted to make. The fact that I'm not doing drama, plus I'm convinced that there is some other fuckery going on that's contributing to it, but I'm not convinced. I know that there's some other fuckery, but a lot of it has to do with not doing drama. I lost 126 subscribers. So, people see that and they're like, well, I can't stop doing drama. And I'm talking about small channels. Once you're a bigger channel, I think you have a little bit more leeway to do whatever you want, because your audience, a lot of people on here have very dedicated audiences who would be there for whatever they choose to do. And I stand by that strongly. I don't think, once you pass a certain threshold, you necessarily need to do drama all the time. But, for a small channel like my own, it's not encouraging and I'm seeing all these channels every day. I come on here every single day, and there's at least 2 or 3 new channels that just coming on here to talk about the same stuff, whether it's on either side. And I feel like, I want to address that from a business standpoint, guys. So, and actually, this is what I learned last semester in work. Oh, not to be my own biggest fan, but today I was actually officially accepted into my master's program. I was on a probationary acceptance because I graduated college with a not so great GPA. Because my senior year, I had a lot of issues with my own issues with myself and stuff. So I very barely graduated college, but I did. So I got straight A's. I have a 3.8 GPA, and yeah, so I'm officially accepted into it. So yay! Which I never really had any doubt that I would be, but and I do have ADD. I diagnosed medicated ADHD. So for me, I do have some issues with traditional learning and stuff, but I've actually had a really great experience with it. Thank you guys very, very much. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I didn't think I would do well in grad school, let alone I would have been happy with B's, but I worked my ass off, and I and I try not to, but for this semester, I'm actually taking a social media marketing class, and I will be for my class, I'm getting certified in using WordPress and Hootsuite or whatever. But I have to build a blog, and I'm going to do it based on this. So I already named it Beeplus, and I have to do a Twitter too. But I'm going to be doing, my blog is going to be based on like true crime books, and it's going to be like a book review. So I'm hoping that I can get people that are on here to go when I launch it to go over there and impress my professor. But no pressure. Nobody has to do it. I'm just saying. I actually got my we had to go through this thing where it's called Score. And it gives you a card that says how much influence you have based on your social media. And let me tell you, if there was ever like another reinforcement that I'm a loser. It was that, but not because of the reasons you think, because it registered my oh, you're good at it, Nicole? Oh, I might have questions for you because I wanted to throw my laptop across the room last night. I really do. I really did. Not so much with Hootsuite, but more so with WordPress. WordPress was quite frustrating. I've never done blogging before or anything like I had success on Instagram. That's it. Everything else I either paid someone else to do or I just never did it all. So I have to figure that out. But I'll be a better person. But I want to talk about this in a business perspective. So what people are seeing here, right? So they're seeing this as a market, this community as a market, and they're seeing people come in and doing drama, and they literally like will come in and they've seen other people blow up. They've seen other people have a lot of success doing this, and they see and they think to themselves, well, why not me? So they'll come in here and they'll make a channel, and I see new ones every single day. So guys, plain and simple, the established brands, so let's say this is like, the Adidas, the Nikes, the whatever other shoe brands, those have all been established. Those are the big channels that are on here, right? All of these smaller channels, it's just oversaturating this market with hate. And people seem to think that they're gonna like, strike it big here. And I hear people using names to make themselves like to interject themselves into drama. And I have to laugh at it, but it does frustrate me because it just continues a lot of this shit. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not everywhere, but I'm enough places to know that, so-and-so did not say X, Y, and Z about this person. But, of course, they're on here saying that they did, but it's for clickbait. It's all for the wrong reasons. Like, if you really care about a cause, fine. That's great. But don't come on here for the wrong reasons like that. And it's just to keep this stuff going. And there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people trying to get involved between people's relationships. They'll see that, there's a crack, there's an opportunity that with two people, and they're going to go in and further that. And it's not cool, guys. Hey, Incognito Gypsy. And watching a movie. I wish I had the attention span for a movie. I really do. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, guys. It's like there's a lot of opportunistic stuff going on, and it's made it so hard to get a real sense of how people are, a really difficult sense of how to react. Because even like I said, even myself, I've had I loved Inventing Anna. I watched that for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I've rewatched it probably like 6 times since. Not going off, I'm like going on a tangent, but yes, I actually though have decided to make myself suffer. And it came up on autoplay, and now I can't stop watching it. And I had already watched all of it, but it came up in my list of things, even though I've seen 1,000 times, because it's one of my guilty pleasures. But I've been suffering through 13 Reasons Why again. So, but I can't stop watching it. I don't know why, but that's a series because it went right to that afterwards. But anyways, I do have ADHD. I do. I really do. Oh, thank you for stopping by, though, Nicole. I always appreciate seeing you in here. Yes. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Oh, good night. Thank you, Nicole. Yes, I always enjoy seeing you in here. There's a lot of names in here right now that I really enjoy seeing, and that's the other thing I wanted to say. I've noticed that a lot more chats there's been people from all over, and I've actually seen a lot of people getting along, and that's what I want. Because I'm tired of feeling that I can't go to certain chats to chat with people that I like because other people, and I don't necessarily care about it. But what I'm talking about, guys, is that emotionally, like personally, I don't care. But when I'm I am trying to build a channel. I am. And every time, but I've decided at this point, guys, I don't care. I like the creators I like. I've supported some of them for a very long time. I like a lot of the subscribers in those chats, and there are some places that I won't go again, but I'm glad that I've seen more and more people going places that you wouldn't expect them. And I can't help but like clap my hands whenever I see that, because that's how it should be, guys. That's how it should be. Like, don't judge me on people I associate myself with, because first of all, nobody knows what I do privately. Like, I try to confront people privately or address people privately before I come on here and do it. That's just how I am, especially if I consider you a friend. So, but people don't know that. They don't know what I say, behind the scenes. They don't know what I'm saying to people personally, and I don't feel the need to broadcast it from the rooftops either. So there's that. And there's also a lot of people do get grouped together, right? There's people like just assume co-sign each other, and I don't think that's healthy either. If good night, Incognito Gypsy, enjoy your movie. You said the movie. I hope. Oh my god, I hope that you were the one who said movie. I think you were. I'm like, my brain is everywhere right now, everywhere. But yeah, it's okay to go where you want, realizing, yeah, it really is okay though, because it's silly, guys. It's silly otherwise. And a lot of us really have a lot of common ground. There's a lot of commonality between many of us, and it has nothing to do with YouTube. There's a lot of like really common themes of things that we've gone through. I have noticed, just from hearing a lot of people's stories. I think that, substance abuse, or, I don't even want to say that. I think there's a better term. I need to ask my dad what it is, but there's a lot of people here who either have dealt with that personally or have a family member that have. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that, struggle with some, mental health stuff, and, including myself. There's a lot of people here that there's a lot of commonality, guys, and it has nothing to do with YouTube. So I hate the fact that some people, like, I've literally gotten an email, and I've said this in a couple chats, especially today, that said, I wanted to say hi to you, and I'm not going to tell you whose chat it was in. Some people will probably know, but I wanted to say hi to you in this chat, but I didn't know how that creator felt about you, so I wasn't sure what to do. And I don't want to knock the person who sent that to me. I don't, because I understand. I understand because, they really support this particular creator. And I know that they're very involved, and I know that the last thing they want to do is have that creator be upset with them. I don't know whether that person would be upset or not. I don't know, but they felt that way. So, when I heard that made me sad, because I'm not gonna, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna, I don't know, lead by example, I guess. But I am going to go where I want, and I'm starting to, because that's how it should be. I want to enjoy YouTube again. I don't want to box myself into a corner. YouTube success isn't important enough to me to jeopardize, like, what YouTube is supposed to be, which is entertainment. I'm always kind and respectful to people. I really am. And that goes whether it's on here, whether it's if you're corresponding with me privately. I can be sassy. I can be sarcastic and sometimes condescending, but I'm never mean. I'm not cruel. I'm not any of those things. I'm not a bully. Very, very, quite the contrary. But this is who I am, and I feel like if people want to get bent out of shape about that, if people want to have a problem with that, then let them, because that's not even a valid reason, and I'm not going to tell myself otherwise. And I don't know. I appreciate that I've seen more people going on. I've seen people in chats that I never thought I'd see together. And you know what? They got along for the most part. And I think that there have been some good conversations happening. I 100% believe that too. And I think that there are a lot of truths coming to light that I don't want to use the word excited about, but I'm happy that they are, because I feel like a lot of these have needed to come out for quite some time. And I'm interested to see where things go, because guys, when I tell you that there's something not right going on in some places, I'm telling you there's something not right. I don't know quite, I can't quite put my finger on it yet, but yeah, Oh, thank you, Dark Magician. I will check that after I get off of here. But yes, sarcasm doesn't. That's true. That's true. I am very sarcastic, though. And that's what I actually have to tell people that in my personal life. I have to be like, don't take me seriously, or else, like, if I'm angry, if I'm really upset, you'll know. When I'm angry, I cry. So, yeah, I can't help it. That's just what happens. It is my first response. If I get angry, I cry. And I don't cry when I'm sad. I just cry when I'm angry. It's quite weird. But yeah, right, Kramaval. This is my social time as well at this point. I've been here for over a year under not various names. That makes it sound like it's a lot. I'd say 2 other names on here. And I've built relationships with people. I consider many of you guys friends. So I'm not going to go anywhere. I want my community to be here because even my dad said that he's really impressed with like the level of there's just a lot of good people. He can tell that there's some, really really great questions in here, and there was a lot of participation, and I think he's proud of what I'm doing, and I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm not going to jeopardize that. I will do like, this softcore drama or commentaries every once in a while. So I will do that. I have no problem doing that because this is my community and I will speak on it if I want to. And but I'm never going to be one of these people that comes on here and tears people apart and goes, nitpicks through every. I have no desire to do that, even if I don't like you. I just want people to leave me alone is what I want. Because people are doing things for all the wrong reasons. Like if you think something, come to me, ask me. Hi, Earthbound Spirit. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying though. Nobody gets notifications. If YouTube thinks that like nobody wants to watch you, they're not gonna go out of their way to send anything to anybody. It's just how it works, and that's what makes me angry. So if you haven't liked my video, I'm gonna hit that thumbs up. It puts me into the algorithm so people can find me. Which is really all I ask for, because and I know that there are the people that are doing it are probably very smug right now. I can actually like imagine their face right now too. And I'm sure that they are, and I'm sure they feel like they've succeeded, and good for you. Is that how you spend your day? You go and target people? Like, come on now. It's nope. I do Krama Vault, and that's the thing. It still doesn't do it. And I'm convinced it has something to do with that. I have not. I can't prove it has something to do with the algorithm, but I feel like it does because I do click that box always. Hi, Jennifer. And yeah, Mike, it does. And it does change from it. You can't keep up half the time. And I am, and I don't, right. Nobody should be. It makes me upset to see people cry. It does. And then, for them to be like, well, if you can't take it, then get off YouTube. No, I very strongly oppose that statement, because the thing that the lows that people are going are just things that should never ever come to YouTube. And it's like people are like competing with each other to find what's the most harmful thing that they could say about this one person. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. Yeah, when people do something, well, Dark Magician, you're right. And sometimes I have to tell myself that. I actually, somebody mentioned it to me at one point, and I did take it to heart. It was that when somebody who's genuinely nice comes on here, when there's somebody who's real, and I'm not suggesting that other people aren't. What I'm trying to say is that we've been burned in this community. If you've been in this community for any amount of time, you have seen people come and go that represent themselves one way and turn out to be the complete opposite. And it's usually the people that you expect it from the least. And so I understand how this person put it to me was, when there's someone like you that comes in here, people are skeptical. People are going to assume that you're here for the wrong reasons. And stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, I guess that makes sense. And in time, people will see that I'm consistent. People will see that I'm not a flip-flopper. You can't be a flip-flopper if you don't want to be involved at all. And that's where I'm at with that. Now, does that change how I feel about everything? No, it absolutely doesn't. I still have opinions on people. I don't like everybody. I like most people, but not everybody. But you won't see me in those chats or anything like that. Like if I go to a chat, it means that I enjoy the people that are there. I try not to go in when people are I don't participate in bashing. I never have participated in bashing. I might have happened to be somewhere when that was happening. Or chat, but I've never done it directly, and I try not to be there at all for that at this point. But a lot of the time, lives aren't always like that. So a live will start out talking about somebody else, and then by 15 minutes in, it's down some weird tangent. So, oh, thank you. My dog is supposed to be in that picture. This I mean, it's not an old picture. It was from what? This summer? Yeah, this is from I think August or early September. But yeah, I have my, the Chuck It launchers. So I'm holding that. My dog is in the corner there, but you can't see her obviously. But I don't know, guys. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of just the hurt that goes on. And there's no easy answer to get it to stop. And the problem is that there's no incentive to stop. In fact, I feel like it's quite the opposite. Now, for me personally, I'm not willing to jeopardize my integrity, my morals, my personality in general, for YouTube success, but there are people who are, and that's a problem. And I'm talking about a lot of these new people that pop up. because that just keeps stuff going. I appreciate actually that AJ has stepped up and acknowledge the clip video problem. I think that clip channels, I think it's problematic. I think and we see it no matter who you support. I'm sure all of us have seen a video at one point or another about a creator that we support that was taken out of context. I promise you there is one on everybody. And I think that that's dangerous. I myself have done it. Actually, somebody called me out on it months ago, but and I took the video down because they were right. And had I watched the entire live, I would have seen it. And it wasn't anything like crazy, but I mean, they were right. So I was like, okay, all right, that's fair. Hey, Cece. And yes, I hope you have a great weekend too. Thanks for stopping by. But that's what I like about you, AJ, with that is that you acknowledge there are a lot of clip channels and that don't think that it's, I don't know. I've had some not so friendly encounters with some of them, but not all. But it's like every day I come up and there's a new one. So, and not all of them have integrity. A lot do. There are some that try to be accurate, and I feel like it's usually the ones that have been around longer that know better than to do that. But some of the ones that, and even myself coming on and being new, and I see here, even I'm giving excuses and like trying to rationalize why people are doing it, but it is bullying. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going to come out and say it. I have seen a lot of channels that have come out recently that is just targeted bullying and harassment of a creator that they don't like. And I mean that for multiple people. I'm not just speaking about one creator at this time. I have seen it done to a few. And if there was ever a definition of targeted harassment, it would be that. Some of the stuff that I've seen. And I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for me. And that's why I was like, I don't want to be a clip channel either. So I've kind of experimented with different things. Like, I didn't always know what I was going to do on here. I felt that I had something to say about a topic, and I said the things I needed to say about that topic. And because I'm who I am, because I don't hold grudges, because I am able to let go of those things, because what is the point of holding on to hatred and, just being angry? I stopped doing that because it's not worth my time. I don't want to be emotionally involved in it. It's stupid. And what do I have to add to the conversation with that? I have nothing to add. But at this point, there are a few creators that are very disliked by a large amount of people. Because they're like, the polar opposites are the ones that, and I've seen a lot of it. And I'm trying to put into words how I see it. It's like every single day I see a new clip channel coming up. And they're using the same clips, talking about the same things. And everybody thinks that they're going to make it big, talking about this community and not this community, but this topic. And a lot of them are names that I recognize from the community. Some of them not, but a lot of them are. And there has been nothing I would rather do. There is one particular one that I would love to call out very much. And anybody who, some people know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it's not worth my time. And I'm not going to do it. But I would like to, because, there are some people that are very problematic, and I see what they do because I observe. I'm all over the place. I'm not everywhere, but when I have the time, I'll go to different, I want to hear what people have to say. And sometimes the people that come up in my suggested, I'll click on. There was one that I particularly clicked on that I wasn't very familiar with. I clicked on it, and everything I heard out of their mouth was like something I could disprove with things I've seen with my own eyes. So there's that. But then, there are people in the chat that are like, oh, that's, running with that is truth. So if you're a creator, you need to realize that you have influence, no matter how small. People associate it. It's a psychological thing, guys. People, especially, and I don't mean to point out anybody's age here. Don't get me wrong on this, please, guys. Hi, New Orleans lady. It's more like the generation older than me, but there was a study on it, and I forget where it was, where I saw the study. but it was a reputable source that I would source for like school, that older generations associate things that they see on television as real news. It's harder to, because like for people that grew up without the internet, what you would see on the computer when somebody on the screen would speak, it was the news, and that was what you were told. I do a terrible job of reiterating things, but that was the basic gist of it, was that people, who didn't grow up with the internet, who are used to the news being, what it used to be, have a harder time differentiating between fake news and not. So what I've noticed here is that there's a lot of people that just take what somebody says. And I don't want anybody to even take what I say at face value. Please, like, don't believe me. Please, like, go out and fact check. And it's hard, guys. It's hard because so much stuff gets deleted, and it's difficult. And I get that. So I can't blame some people sometimes, but there are things that, them fighting words. Madhouse, I'm not saying that it applies to everybody. I'm just saying that there was a study done, and it was by a reputable, like, citable source that did a study about that. And I'm not targeting anybody in particular. And I don't know. It's not the age that my demographic is. Like, my analytics say that the people who watch me are generally between the ages of 45 and 54, and women. But I'm talking about older than that. So, and which I have some too. So, and there are quite a bit in the community that are, but really? Well, Madhouse, that's the thing. I feel like, for any study that you find, I feel like there's going to be the opposite found too. So sometimes it's subjective. That's fair. I have seen studies going like, that's all I'm trying to say, but that's what I saw. And I'll find the thing. It was like a peer reviewed thing and everything. So I will find it again though. Forget, God, where did I stumble across that? Because I was actually looking up stuff about it was for something for my marketing class, about people believing things, but that's okay. You're 47. Yeah. Well, I didn't even grow up with internet. I had internet basically at the tail end of high school. I mean, I'm 33, so, but that's also because I wasn't like living at home or anything, and where I was, there wasn't much internet access or anything like that. But we had a computer pretty early. We got a computer in like 95. And yes, I am a millennial. That's right. I am. That's true too, Madhouse, though. I've seen that as well. I think we're talking about two different things though. And like I said, I am terrible at relaying information like that. But I know what you're talking, and I agree with you on that too, though. I do think that my generation also falls victim to, yes, the manipulative, very biased, one way or another news stories on social media. Yes. And definitely political out of anything. So yeah, I think more so what the study I saw was talking about was just I think it was basically methods of communication, like modes of communication, and it was talking about because I was taking an integrated marketing communications class, so we were looking into how to best relay your message for what you're marketing, and how that would change per generation. So that's just what I'm saying. I'm broadcasting a lot. A lot of people didn't pick broadcasting because because we're my generation. I can't. I'd have to get my paper out, but I promise you, there's like a method to my madness here. But I'm not talking about politics. I agree with you on that. But you always thought the @ symbol meant around. Really? That's actually funny. I've actually had to Google some of the terms that I've heard. I heard, what was one that I heard recently? Like, you Gucci, and I'm like, what the heck does Gucci mean? Like, what does that mean up here? Like, are you good? Like, I don't know. I had to Google that one, and I'm not going to admit to that person that I had to Google it, but I did. I was like, oh, I'm showing my age here. No, it's okay, Madhouse. I know that you're in the field, so I appreciate that. Because maybe I could have been clearer about that, but yeah. It's just, I don't know, guys. I want to see people do better. I've seen way too many people cry, and it's not an easy fix. There's a lot of like actual personal issues that people have with other people at this point, but I don't know. I feel like there is hope. I've seen glimmers of hope. Um, but unfortunately, for every like little bit of hope I see like hurt, like tenfold. And I don't know what it's gonna take to change it, but and that's not my job. My job isn't to change it. I can only control what I do on my channel. I can only control my own behavior. So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not a drama channel. I'm not a drama channel. I'm gonna be doing like I said, my dad will be coming back on. I think the next one that we're gonna do, and I'm hoping next week. I'm pretty sure next week, probably next Thursday. I think was the day that we were discussing. My dad's gonna come back on, and we're gonna talk about. I mean, we can answer more questions that people have, but we're gonna be talking about a different topic, which is a surprise. So, but it is it's criminal justice, true crime related, obviously. So that's really awesome, and I'm really happy about that. I also, like I said, guys, I have gone all out, deep diving into my next deep dive with you guys, which is the Columbine massacre. And thank you, Reddit, for being the ultimate place for. I have a special guest in the works for you. Not even in the works. I just have to figure out when. Who I am still very shocked would even want to come on my small channel here. But you know, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Madhouse. I'm gonna be getting into that hopefully next week. I'm gonna start that. I'm trying to figure out when this person's available, but you never know, or else you ask. I mean, I was like, what the worst that could happen is he says no. That's the worst that could happen. So I emailed somebody who I'm not gonna use their name yet, but it's probably a name that if you're familiar with that case that you know. I found him on Reddit. No, I don't have connections. I just went on Reddit. But so I don't want to like, well, I guess kind of connections, because I think that the common ground, okay, that's fair. That's fair, Michelle, because my dad did kind of play a role in, okay, all right, maybe it is connections. Maybe he wouldn't have said yes if that's here, neither here nor there. But this, and I wish I could say that this would be a YouTube like premiere or exclusive. This person has been on other channels and also has his own channel. So yeah, I can't say that, but I'm not going to give it away yet. But it's going to be good, guys. It's going to be good, because it's not every day you're going to hear a perspective from this kind of person. And I'm excited about it. So that's going to be good. That's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about that, because it's a case that I've always been interested in for a lot of different reasons. Some of them personal. Like, it happened when I was in high school or middle school, I think, at that time. But it changed. It changed how everything was. I was always like the weird kid. Like, I wouldn't say I was goth. I've gone through different evolutions of myself, per se. But yes, and when that happened, I was the kid who wore the trip pants, the black pants, that Hot Topic with the zippers and chains all over them. Yeah, I wore those. I was always having my hair crazy colors. I listened to some of the same bands, and all of a sudden I was being called down to the guidance office because somebody thought I was gonna do X, Y, or Z because they, walked into me in the hall, or that they thought I looked at them funny. And I am like and it was just a joke at that point, because aside from looking, a certain way, I'm the nicest person. I've always been the nicest person. Like, I wouldn't, but that started happening. Hi, Johnny. That's me, Johnny. That's me on the picture there. Without my puffy prednisone face. But that's okay. I'll prove everybody. Nobody made fun of me. I'm my own worst critic, so I appreciate nobody making fun of me. But I don't know, guys. I want people to be able to go where they want. YouTube's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. I like a lot of different people on here. I like a lot of creators. I like a lot of people that actually don't like each other. And I don't want to, be secretive or sneaky or hide that from people. And I know that I did a poll about it. I know that there are people that say that if you support or enjoy somebody who has done certain things, that reflects on you. And I respectfully disagree, but I respect that people feel that way. I do. But I don't think that me supporting or not even supporting, like I'm not monetarily supporting people, but me enjoying a creator when they're, doing their usual thing. Because there are some unique creators on here. There are some people on here that do something very different than just talking at people for hours. There are some people in this community that have content and do something really different or fun and have for quite some time. Um, they might get carried away sometimes, but don't we all, even myself? So all I'm trying to say, guys, is that I just wish people would be a little bit less judgmental about that kind of stuff. Like, we don't have to like the same creators. I don't have to like the same people you do. You don't have to like the same people I do. And I'm just tired of if somebody sees you in chat, it's almost like immediate. Somebody screenshots it, and all of a sudden it's like, did you see who was in their chat? And all of a sudden it's a big thing. And I can't help but wonder if that's like where it starts, if that's not how a lot of these miscommunications happen. And I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it, guys. So I'm going to go where I want. I'm going to appreciate the people I appreciate. Like, that's just how it's going to be. And I've had a lot to say about certain people that I have not said publicly yet, but, and good things. I mean, good things, not bad things. I'm not going to, what I'm talking about, but I want to discuss with them how they feel about me addressing that before I do. But there are definitely some people I would like to acknowledge publicly in a good way. Because I feel like people need to know about some of the stuff that happens that are good things that people do, that people think are really, there are creators that people, we always lose sight of people's positive qualities. And if I can do anything to help, support, I want people to know that there are people here that are good. Like they're, and I've learned that for myself, because there are some people here that have shown me, and if I was to decide somebody's character, have shown me that they are capable of more, when push comes to shove. Because there have been some people on here that don't like me, that have had opportunities to hurt me and have chosen not to. And I think that speaks a lot about them. I really do. Because that doesn't seem to be what people like to do here. It's, I was actually just waiting for it to happen. I actually had, it's not a running joke, but like in my own head, I was like, oh, is today going to be that? Because I was like, oh, it's coming. This person's going to do it. And ultimately it didn't come from that person at all. It came from somebody else. But, and I'm not just talking about that. There's a couple creators on here that I see a lot of bad stuff being said about. And my experience with them has been different. And, I understand that not everybody's going to see eye to eye, but I want people to know those things, because I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful to see that, not everybody, like what I heard, I'll use this as an example, right? So I will use this as an example. And I think somebody else used it as an example too, but I think that it was probably more relevant for them. But when it comes to, I like Melissa Jade, I like Brittany, I like both of them very much. But at no point did either one of them ever try to make me choose. Nobody said anything to me. And I talked to Brittany, so she's a mod on my channel. I mean, but she's never said anything about MJ to me, never, not once. And vice versa. But I don't really talk to Melissa, but I go to both of their channels. I'm not, nobody's tried to influence me anyway or anything like that. And I feel like, knowing things like that is important, because there's a lot of the time that people are like, this X, Y, or Z is happening, but that hasn't been my experience. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but nobody's said anything to me like that. And I feel like there's a lot of people that do try to start drama with things to keep things going. And now for whatever reason, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who. I can't quite put my finger on those things yet. I'm trying to. There are some situations that I'm quite certain I know who's behind it, but I don't even worry about that person, because whatever. I'm not, you can't rationalize with an irrational person. I've learned that the hard way on here. It's not going to happen. But, I like a lot of people, and I'm going to start doing that. If you see me in a chat that you don't usually see me in, that there's that. If somebody messages you and it's like, did you see what chat she's in? Well, I'm going to own up to it. I'm not ashamed of the chats that I go to. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to go I'm gonna go where I feel that, I enjoy the conversation. Like, I've had great conversations in actually many different chats lately. Um, like, I don't know. For example, like her or not, Granny actually had a really great true crime conversation going the other day, and I was actually really interested in it. A lot of us were discussing different cases to look into, different cold cases that are local. I actually, was very engaged with that conversation. It's hard to hold my attention with things. So there was a great conversation going on there. Oh God, who had the other one? Melissa Jade's channel. There was a really great conversation going on a couple nights ago that I really enjoyed participating in. All over the place, right? Like, we don't have to just be in one channel. We don't need to box ourselves into those things. And I'm certainly not going to do it. I'm just not. I am my own person. I have my own values, my own morals, my own things that I am comfortable with. And I feel like that is represented on my channel. I've also introduced you guys to like my family. You can see that I was raised with those kinds of values and morals in mind. Have I always been the best person? No, I haven't. But I was raised well. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I was raised well. And me enjoying something on YouTube does not speak to my own morality. Now, when it crosses on into those lines is if I am participating in something directly, or if I am using my own platform to harass or talk about. That's when it changes. But if I'm just in somewhere talking to somebody or whatever, like that doesn't. No, because I don't have a problem with anybody. I really don't. I don't. Life's too short to fight with people. I don't want to fight with people. I'm gonna call it how I see it, but 9 times out of 10, yeah, just be respectful. Exactly, be respectful of the host. I couldn't have said that better myself, Michelle. If you have personal drama with somebody, don't bring that to somebody's chat either. If it's not on topic and you simply see somebody, I have seen people get attacked in chats that did not deserve that. They were in that chat because they were being respectful, and somebody just happened to see them in there and they had a problem with that person. So all of a sudden, and it's distracting and it's not fair because it has nothing, first of all, it has nothing to do with the creator. And second of all, like time and place, read the room. Like that's all that I don't like that at all. It is well, yes, Mike, communicating privately would solve a lot of stuff, and I agree with that as well. I feel like some things it's appropriate to do publicly just because if you have influence, sometimes doing things publicly can help rectify any harm you have done to somebody's reputation, if that makes sense. And I think it takes a big person to do that. I don't see it happen often, but I like when I do. Because let's be honest, like there's some things that people have said that have turned out to been absolute lies have been pretty inflammatory stuff. And for them to admit that they were wrong about something and kind of retract that statement publicly or have that discussion publicly, I think that that's helpful. I think that that's good. Because then people, and I hate saying that people do this, but they do, but they'll see that creator no longer has an issue with that person, and then they'll feel more comfortable going back. Now, I encourage people to feel comfortable regardless, but I get why people don't. And I get it. I do. I see why people wouldn't. So I can't judge people that way, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. I don't want to be a drama channel. I'm doing my true crime. I'm doing a bunch of topics. I mean, heck, I'm gonna try my luck with whatever. There's a lot of stuff I'd love to come on here and talk about, and I've seen. I like the response that I get. I mean, it is kind of depressing when I have somebody like my dad on here, and we have such a great conversation. It is like actual. It was just really great experience, and I don't know. Lives like that don't get a whole lot of views, but if I'm on here talking about somebody or the times that I have in the past done something that like even sort of resembles drama gets 500 plus views, I promise you right now, or at least I'm wishful thinking, but this live probably won't get more than 100 views. And if you look through my videos, that's new, that's unusual, and it's demoralizing, but I'm just going to keep my head up. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Because the people who do appreciate it are the people that matter. My loyalty is not to any creator. My loyalty is to my subscribers who support me every single day. What I want to do is make you guys happy. I am not out here to please any other creator. I'm not going to function like that. I'm not going to do it. I don't think that that's healthy. I am my own entity. I am my own person. And yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't, yeah. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Like, I'm just gonna do me. And what's frustrating, guys, what's frustrating though is that because things like this are happening, my channel is taking a hit to the point where I can't seem to bounce back from it. And if I'm trying to build a channel, it's important to be in the algorithm. And if I can't get in the algorithm, that's a problem. And I don't know how to fix that yet, but I'm going to try. I'm not giving up. I never give up. I never give up. So I'm just going to keep plugging along and hopefully, hi, Crystal, good to see you. I'm going to hope that people like it, but if they don't, they don't. And I don't know, guys. A lot of people say that they're bored with the drama. They want something different, but it's like when you put something different out, nobody shows up. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's my own damn fault though for but I like the people here, I didn't want to go to a community that I didn't know the people that I wanted to be able to share what I have to offer with the people that I like, the people that I care about. And I do have unique things to offer. I do have access to things and I'm not trying to like sound cocky or sound like I'm like, bragging or anything like that, but this is just a reality. I have access to, things that other people don't, for things like my dad and people that he knows and, stuff like that, to be able to bring that to my channel, to bring some of these experts onto my channel. I'm not really sure if that, will happen or not, but I've been in the talkings with some people that, I've have been at the dinner table at my family's dinners that I think people would really enjoy. That would be great additions to some of the stuff that I'd like to do. And that is my unique take on things. And plus my personality. So I hate that people say I'm boring, that I don't have a personality. I mean, come on, guys. I am full of energy. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of charisma. I don't know. I feel like I have something special, but I guess not everybody feels that way, but that's okay. I don't, whatever. Somebody took the time to email me. So, I mean, they must have a very boring life to have. I barely have time, with my life and my real life with, everything I have going on for me to even check my email at all. The fact that somebody had the time to sit down and write that email to me, well, you must be a very bored person and probably boring too. If you think that I don't hold a candle to anybody in this community. That's okay though. That's okay. I beg to differ, but that's okay. I'm not competing with anybody. That's where you're wrong. So who am I supposed to hold a candle to? Myself? I'm completely different. I'm not trying to be like anybody else here. I want to scream that from the rooftops. Like I really do. I'm not here to pick a side or even sit on a fence. I just want to do my own thing. And I feel like people get so bent out of shape if you even mention their names. They take that as a direct attack on them. They take you being in a particular chat as a direct attack on them. And you can't make anybody happy. So make yourself happy. At the very least, make yourself happy. And that is where I stand with that. Because I have tried to make people happy for way too long. I have made it so YouTube was not fun for me anymore because I didn't want to cause issues or anything like that or whatever. And it's pointless. It's pointless. There's no point in doing that. All that you're doing in that is making it so YouTube is not a fun place anymore. And I am not willing to do that. Yes, that's right. Somebody did email me that, Madhouse. That's right. That was the end of that email telling me that I don't belong here. Yes. The rest of that email was that I don't hold the candle to some of the other creators in this community. Yes, that's right. I almost want to frame this one. I have another one that I have framed actually, but that was from a long time ago. But I do have one email that somebody sent me. I've read it out loud here a couple times, but that I did frame because it's hilarious. But yes, Yeah, well, I get a lot of rude emails, believe it or not, Madhouse. I just, don't come on here and address them. There's a lot of people that have taken time out of their lives to write things to me that are I don't know why they would. But yes, apparently I'm very boring and I don't hold a candle to the talent and the people in this community. So that's cool though. That's cool. Um, whatever. So I'm sure that they're sitting there laughing that, my channel is taking a bit. I get it. It's very funny, guys. Very funny. But, at the end of the day, I can shut my laptop off and my computer, and I am not embarrassed by how I treat other people on the internet. I am not ashamed of how I treat other people on the internet. I'm not jeopardizing my integrity, my morals for people on the internet. And I don't think some of these people can say the same. And I know where some of this comes from, guys. I do. And I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out where this is coming from. Because like I said, guys, even when I was making videos about Natasha, even when I was doing that, I did not get hurt. Like the people that are in that, they never came over to my thing. They might write, like they might have written some like comments, but of course they did. They support a particular person. But I never got mass dislikes. Never. That's a very new thing. Where people will overwhelmingly come to your videos and dislike it. And that makes it so even harder for it to go into the algorithm. And yeah, I've never had that before until a certain point. So you cannot convince me otherwise that it is not a certain group of people. There's no other explanation for it. So I just don't know why that's necessary. Like, do you really like? But AJ, and you know what I'm talking about though, and I just don't understand why that's a hyper focus. Why? I want to know why, because I didn't do anything. I did nothing to deserve anything, and like at this point, I feel like they're dead set on destroying like everything. And for what? I don't know. And I am a little angry. And I promised myself that I would not give this reaction. I would not give anybody the pleasure of knowing that I even noticed. But at this point, I can't not do it. I can't not do it because it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I have left people alone. I don't talk ill of people. I addressed things very briefly because that's my right to do, and I moved on. But it seems that some people can't do that. And I don't know who it is. Well, no, I'm being too nice. I do not know if this person is directly doing it, but it is definitely from a particular area. And it really sucks because I like a lot of these people and I don't know why. But that's the thing. You find out who your friends are. I know I hate to quote like a song, but when somebody have a great night, Mike. I will try. I need to go eat dinner soon. But really, like, and it was like people in that very same chat the day before were saying how much they supported me, how much they loved my channel, how much they liked everything I was doing. And, the minute it flips. And all of a sudden, I am the worst person to ever grace the streets of YouTube. I am such a horrible fraud and all of these things. Okay. And they don't want to hear anything else. And I tried. And then I was like, it's pointless because all these people were doing every time I would even write something was just put in laughing emojis. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly you don't want to hear what I have to say, which, happens to be the truth, but that's fine. I don't know, guys. And but it's like, why can't we just move on from that? Why are we still perpetuating that? And I see that over and over and over again with other people too, though, is that like there are people that just can't let go of certain things and it just goes on and on and on. And when does it stop? Obviously there's like real people getting hurt. What happens? That's stupid. That's secondary compared to like the actual hurt that though I've seen done to other people. So I don't want to make it sound like, I think my problem. No, I would rather have what I'm dealing with than what other people are dealing with right now. That's for sure. But that's the thing, Madhouse. I get that. It's because I don't want conflict that people come after me. Right. And they know that I'm pretty passive too. So it takes a lot for me to actually say something. I very rarely will get pushed to that point where I will. So people think that I would just allow that because that's how I am. But that's the thing. You don't know me if that's what you think. I will not allow myself to be abused by anybody on here or anywhere. You will not treat me that way. And if I need to, I will address it. Hi, Lindsay. And that's just how I am. I let it go because it's not worth my time to come on here and rant and rave about it, even though that's what they want me to do. This is probably the most attention that I will draw to it. And I've ignored it for a while. This has been going on for about a month now. And, like I said, guys, since all this started, and I'm going to keep saying a number because it's a big number, guys. When you are a channel as small as mine, 126 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to lose on your channel. And I've been quiet about it. I haven't said anything. And, it's to the point where, unfortunately, things like that do have an impact. And they know that it bothers me. And I'm just going to address it this once, though, because I'm not going to go anywhere. All right? Like, I don't know what your end game is. But I would rather be me than you any day. Any day. I am not envious of anybody's channel. I would rather have no subscribers and have my brain in my head than flip that script. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm just not going to, I don't care about it. I'm tired of it. And I'm only addressing it now just because that email kind of pissed me off. That somebody would even do that. Like, come on now. And I don't really have, like I said, I don't have an issue with anybody. I've had an issue with what? Technically two people, I guess. One of which I wouldn't even consider it. Nobody's running me anywhere, Lindsay. Nope, I'm tenacious as fuck. These people aren't getting me to go anywhere. I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care. It's not going to happen. But unfortunately, yes, I do. And the problem is that, when somebody has gotten to know you, they know what your buttons are. So this is mine. But yeah, I did hear it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're referring to, Lindsay, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you and I see eye to eye on everybody, but some people the same way. But I have no issue with you personally at all. But I have also seen a lot of hypocrisy tonight that I've literally been like, the email. No, it wasn't from today, Madhouse. It wasn't from today, but I've been kind of holding on to this for a while, and because my dad was coming on, I didn't address it right away. It was recently though. It was about a week ago, maybe not even a week ago, a couple days. But there have been times, like some of the stuff I was listening to right before I came on here, I was like yelling at my phone because I was like, "Holy shit! Do these people hear themselves?" It's like some of us who have been here for a long period of time, we know, a lot more about certain things than other people, and you know what I mean. Like we were here for last spring, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I have thoughts, but I'm not a drama channel, so that is not the place for me to talk about it. Hi, Captain Kangaroo. And like I said, I'm a very nice person. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I was here. I've been here for a while, so I do remember the goings-ons of well before I think a lot of people here are. But you know what? We'll see, right? We'll see. It's not for my channel to discuss that, but I'm intrigued. Not intrigued. I don't know what the right word is, but I was hearing some stuff today that I wanted to, oh my God. I actually, in my notes app, and I don't have my phone in front of me, and I wish I did, but I was making notes of every single thing I wanted to come on here and correct. But I'm not even going to do that because it doesn't matter. The people that are in my chat right now, I know the difference between truth and being delusional about those. Like it's not any of you guys that I would need to convince anyway, but it's just, oh my God, guys, like come on. Just people need to open their eyes. That's all. just I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what it's gonna take, but I can only control myself. So what I'm gonna do, that's what I'm doing. But I'm really disorganized, Lindsay. So unfortunately, like I can't. I have a hard time holding people's interest because I'll be talking about one thing and then I'll like be all the way off on a tangent about something else, and it sometimes I don't make sense. So there have been times that people think I'm talking about them, and I'm not. I'm not at all talking about them. But I mean, honestly, like I've seen some good stuff going on though, and I mean, guys, Lindsay, I wasn't in your chat for. I didn't watch your entire live from yesterday. I fell asleep. I think maybe I was and I know people have said it got kind of crazy, but I think even you said that yourself. But I think that like from what I saw from when I was in there, I thought that there were some good conversations happening. That was what I saw. I was only in there for the beginning though, so I don't know where it went from there, but there were people from all over. And I thought that like that to me is a glimpse of what I would like to see. I've seen that I saw that in Melissa Jade's chat recently as well, and I'm like I like that as well. Because I like people from all of these different sides. That's just the truth. That's just the reality, guys. I do. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of the creators that I like. And if I like you, you'll likely see me in your chat. Or I'm not going to have memberships to people I don't like. That doesn't make sense. Not even I'm not gonna buy a membership to why would I? If I don't feel comfortable being in a chat, like why would I buy a membership? It doesn't make any sense. So if I have a membership to somebody, like chances are, either yeah, I like them as a person, or I've had like there could be a lot of reasons, but it's not I do support the people I support. I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm not gonna explain it. I don't, because it's my personal business. Like I said, I have subscribed to some people for a very long time now. So and that's what I do. I do go where I want. I really do. And there's a lot of people that I miss. When you become a creator, it seems that all of a sudden people, because I never felt this way as a subscriber. I never felt like I had to not go into certain chat. I didn't feel that way at all. But the minute I became a creator, I learned very quickly that if you go into a chat that is, opposed to somebody who thinks that it does not work. It does not work out. But I need to just not care. And I'm not, there were some things that I understand, but when it comes to like, I'll just use like Lindsay as an example. There are some people that have had issues with Lindsay. I don't think that's a secret. I think that, everybody has seen, and I know that you know that, Lindsay, so I feel comfortable saying that. And I've been in their chats, but you want to know what Lindsay doesn't do? Lindsay doesn't get angry at me for being in those chats. Lindsay still welcomes me into her chat, because I'm not over in other people's chats talking about Lindsay either. So, and I actually consciously thought that the other day too. I did. I was like, you know what? This is how it should work. Because we're not all going to like the same people. And some of us have personal things with other people, right? Doesn't mean that I can't like two people that don't like each other. Has nothing to do with that. Now, if I was friendly enough with somebody, because I will go hard for people I'm genuinely friends with, but I build friendships quite slowly, right? So it takes a lot for me to trust people. And I am too trusting, but what I mean more so is like fully trust somebody and fully feel that they have my back and I need to. But if you get to that level with me, I will go out of my way for people. Now, if you get to a friendship with like that with me, at that point, yes. At that point, I would probably not go. That would dictate what I would do. But I don't have that with anybody on here. And that's not, I haven't been on here long enough, like, quite frankly. But no, that's the thing though. Is that, there are other times where had I been in a chat that was talking, because even during that chat that I was in, Lindsay, there were some things said about you that I wasn't, I was like, well, that's not a nice thing to say. But obviously I'm not like, echoing it, and I'm not agreeing with it or anything, but I was there. I was in the chat. And you know what? You didn't like freak out. You know what I mean? Like, and that's I like that. Like that's how it should be. Because I don't have personal issues with some people, guys. I just don't. I just don't. And I know that there are people that have warned me about certain people, and that has turned out to be accurate in some way, in some cases. And that's just how life is. Sometimes people are gonna disappoint you, but I always like to try and see things for myself, right? And if I don't have, like, if I haven't seen it, I just try to. I'm not gonna write people off that fast. I can't. I can't do it. I'm not gonna, like, support people monetarily if they're, doing really hateful things. I'm not gonna do that, that's for sure. But I'm not gonna, like, write them off as a person entirely. Not for YouTube. That's not how I do things in my personal life. So it's not gonna be what I do. I can't do that. But if you are a friend of mine, um, that has gotten to that point with me, then yes. Yes, I will take, you know what I mean? Like, it depends. But on YouTube, for the sake of YouTube, I'm not writing anybody off for anything. I think that there are some, I don't know. I don't know. So, I mean, if you see me in chats going forward, I just want people to know, like, it's not an attack on them. I'm not in somebody's chat, to get to them, to anything like that. I'm in that chat because I like the people in that chat, or I like the topic. Have a great night, Lindsay. Or I like the topic, or God forbid, I like the creator. Like, oh my God, guys. Oh, can't be that. Um, and that's just the truth. And if people want to judge me for that, if people want to feel that but like, the last thing I want to be transparent. I don't want to be sneaky about anything. I don't want to be I don't talk to anybody behind the scenes that I wouldn't be comfortable telling you guys about. I just don't think that people need to be privy to all of your conversations. And I don't really, to be honest, guys, I don't really speak to any creators behind the scenes regularly. I do speak to subscribers or mods quite frequently, but when it comes to creators, very, very seldom these days. Um, if really at all. I don't think I've messaged anybody that has a channel for the past week, at least. But people will believe what they want, right? So I don't know, guys. I'm just tired of it. I really am. I really, really am. And I don't know what it's gonna take, but I feel like there's nobody's gonna back down, right? Nobody's gonna be the one that, especially some of this, and they're just not gonna do it. There's just been too much hurt. There have been people's families brought into things. There have been, like, it's not appropriate, guys. And of course, like, they're not gonna. It's hard to let that shit go. If that happened to me, you don't know how you'd react until you are in that situation. So for me to tell and say that I think that people should do X, Y, or Z, well, until I'm in that situation, I have no bearing as to how they handle that situation. So, and I get it, but, like, why are we even doing that? Like, I'm so pissed off about that. Like, why does it's gross, guys. Like, why would we do that? People said I was crazy for bringing my dad on here, but you know what? It, you know, I I'm just disgusted. Like, I don't feel like, and I warned my dad too. Unfortunately, he thinks I'm crazy. He doesn't believe me that he says that my community is great. And I agree, because my community is great, but it's not great all the time everywhere else. And we see that. We see that. Whether you like a creator or not, there are certain things that happen. And I mean, I know that I personally have some unpopular opinions on certain things. And you know what? I will be the first to share them with people, because I don't care anymore. I really don't. Because I don't have to like the person to have an opinion that is positive, right? So that's just how it works. I know a lot of people say, and I'm only gonna, because it's a positive thing. I think I can mention this without people getting bent out of shape about it. And this is just my opinion, guys, my opinion. So you don't have to share my opinion on this, but Natasha Cooper is a whole lot of different things, but I do think she's a good mother. I think that she loves her children. I think she loves her niece very much. And I'm comfortable saying that. So there's that, but people still felt the need to call CPS on her many times. There's that, right? So there's, what was the other one that pissed me off? Oh yes, you know what happened to a lot of things have happened to Jess. I don't know, the fake CPS call. I don't think her dad, that whatever happened with her dad, that's nobody's business. That's nobody's business. That should have never been brought to YouTube. Her dad has nothing to do with this, like at all. And that was clearly just brought to hurt her. Like, you know, you don't have to like her to know that that's not appropriate. Would you like it if somebody, and people are like, well, my dad doesn't have that. Well, oh, who cares? Pick something else that you're ashamed of in your life, or not even that she's ashamed of it. But you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm trying to say. I don't need to justify, but you know, pick something else that would be potentially hurtful, right? So take the names out of it. Look at the behaviors. Is that okay? That should never be okay. It should never be okay what happens to a lot of these creators. Like, it's just human decency. It's just human decency, and that's just my opinion. Yeah, you know, I don't think anybody's parenting should be brought into anything either. That's not okay. That has nothing to do with YouTube. Or else you see, you know what? Actually, I'm not even going to say that, because I'm gonna, for the sake of YouTube, I'm going to say it's not okay at all. But I don't know, guys. People seem to forget, though, that everybody's human beings, right? Well, Madhouse, that's fair. That's fair. But I will say, and I forget when this happened. I don't recall when it has happened to her, though. I know this because well, I can't quite. There was a time that somebody that came to the door, and I believe that it has happened. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Well, of course, her videos are gone, so I feel like one of them happened live, and I can't remember which, but I felt it was legit in my gut. 36 of them is excessive. That's right. But think about it, though, Madhouse, and I don't want to discuss it, but like, because she has a foster child in the house. I mean, I think that would, you know, if you're in a system, I think that sometimes makes it so they will investigate. I don't know. All I know is that I'm fairly confident it has happened to her at least once. So that's just my gut feeling. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I feel that way about a lot of things. I do feel, though, that once sometimes people, I feel like there's one, you know, if somebody sees that something happens to somebody, all of a sudden you see it happening to everybody. I don't know. It's hard to tell who's telling the truth on things. I'll tell you what. I really, and if people are familiar, like my dad, I tried to have my dad clarify how that whole, you know, the CPS thing works, right? So, I feel like, how do I put this? If you're getting a visit, right, from a CPS, chances are, in my opinion, in my state, guys, because it varies state to state to state, what isn't right? Even once isn't right. No, I agree with you on what? That it's okay? Nobody's saying it's okay. I'm confused. I don't think anybody should be calling anything on anybody. Ever. That's very far from what I'm for. But I'm just saying, like, I think from my impression anyway, that if you have if you're like in the system per se, like you're a family that's, you know, a foster family or something like that, or you're a family that they've visited, you have a case open with them, then they're likely, like in this state, my dad has said that, though, they try to screen for fake calls, because people like to use CPS in weaponize CPS often, and people know that. So I don't know about every state, but that was my impression from what my dad has told me about this state. And that, you know, my impression was that they had to investigate every one of them. Apparently in my state, that's not the case. So I retract the fact that I said that at all on any live. Apparently in my state, they try to filter that out. So especially if somebody was to mass report somebody to CPS, right? That is an immediate red flag. That's probably not legitimate, right? Because that's not how those real calls work. So if that's all. If you are in the system, the crew knows you and would just call you. They know the family. Right. That's true. I don't know, though. Not always the case, though. I've had, when I worked in group homes, because I worked in group homes for quite some time. And I remember that they would come unexpected sometimes. It really depended. It depended, and people are short staffed now, so that entirely. So yeah, I was a case manager at a group home with kids for 2 years, 2 very very long years. But that was just my understanding with that. I think that there are some things they have to invent, but especially nowadays, like there's like it's a very underpaid job, and there's resources are stretched really thin. So I don't know. I can only speak for my state and from what my understanding is with that kind of thing. But regardless, it should never happen. It should never happen, right? And just what makes me sick. Oh, your pillow is. Yeah, I'm probably ending pretty soon. I need to eat, and then I need to go to bed. But I feel like I didn't even get everything off my chest that I wanted to. But that's what tomorrow's for. But yeah, group homes are. That's what I'm saying though. Group homes probably are different. I've never been in the system. I was adopted, but like I was like not a foster kid or anything like that. I was adopted at birth, um, but I just don't think it's being weaponized. And what makes me sick though is the motives behind it, right? It's people's motives. It's the fact that people are calling not because they give a shit about that person's family or their kids. These people don't care about that person's kids. They're doing it because they're trying to hurt somebody from the internet. Like it's not even done for the right reasons. Like, and I not that I would feel better if it was done for that reason, but like, if somebody's genuinely concerned for a child and they really feel that child, okay, like, but that would sit better with me than the fact that, these people don't care about these people's kids. They talk about these people's kids. Like, I don't know, guys. It drives me nuts, like, that people would sink that low. I morally can't justify it, so but I have to learn that I can't put my own people not everybody thinks like me. I can't put my own values and morals onto everybody else because clearly there are people who are very comfortable doing that, and it doesn't bother them one bit to do it. Yeah, I'm getting off of here soon. I need to eat. And I have a feeling that there's a much larger creator live right now, or maybe I am really boring. I don't know. I mean, maybe. If being boring means being myself and not acting a fool and being a bully, then I would rather be boring. Yes, I would, because I will not be a bully. I will not do that. It is not in my nature. It is not in my DNA. I cannot do it, and I would rather be boring any day than a trashy person. Just saying, that does really awful stuff to other human beings on the internet for really stupid reasons that don't matter. And you're making, yeah, I'm disgusted with some of the stuff that I saw. And really what kind of set me over the edge was hearing that full fake CPS call really made my blood boil, like really. And a lot of things have pissed me off, but that was kind of like my boiling point with just how bad things have gotten. And I just encourage people to think about why you're doing things. Like, think about it. Like, think before you act. And I understand that emotions are high. I understand that, like, we're loyal to certain creators and we want to make them happy. We want to show our loyalty or whatever. But this isn't the way, guys. This isn't the way. We don't need to be doing this stuff to anybody, right? Like, what people do outside of YouTube is not relevant, right? We shouldn't be bringing anybody's criminal records up ever. We shouldn't be bringing up records of any, like, even if there is suspected domestic violence, that shouldn't have been brought up at all either. That is not our business, okay? Like, I know that some people are like, well, they frauded the community. First of all, I actually don't. I'm not even. That didn't bother me, but honestly, guys, like, that shouldn't have been made public that way. That wasn't anybody else's story to tell but theirs when they were ready. And I get that there'd be a lot of people disagree with me on that, and that's fine. You can disagree with me. I didn't feel lied to. But I know I'm not discrediting anybody else's thing, but I do truly stand by the fact that, first of all, there's nothing funny about a crime victim. But if there's something like that, even if it's suspected, from somebody who's been through that kind of thing, I understand. and people, that's why I said mind your beeswax. People really do need to mind their business. Like when the truth comes out, it'll come out, right? It needs to come from the right person. And people would appreciate that, that being extended to them if they were in that situation, but they don't extend it to people, that they don't like. And I don't work like that. If I'm gonna, I don't want to do it to anybody across the board. If an action is wrong, it is wrong entirely, 100%, no question. There's no gray area in some things. There's no gray area about talking about other people's family that has nothing to do with YouTube. It is wrong. There is no right reason for it. I also believe that there's no right reason for bringing people's personal lives onto here, especially when it comes to something that's so that could be so hurtful like that. Like, okay, sure, maybe even if it was the scenario that they're saying, like that the opposers say, even that would make it even worse for them to do what they did, right? Like, I don't know, in my opinion, I didn't like that. I don't like a lot of the stuff that I see. And oh my God, why is my cat screaming? I feel like, the stray cats, my yard brings all the stray cats to the yard. I have so many strays right now, and like I think one of them's in heat, and it breaks my heart because I need to get it fixed. But that's neither here nor there. But it's outside my window, and it's breaking my heart. I need to go put food out for it. I named him Bubbles. It's a beautiful black cat with these bright emerald green eyes. Definitely a kitten. It's one of the teeny tinies, but these creators don't really care about others who've been attacked. But they expect others to defend them when they don't. Right. And you know what? I learned that too. And I'm not criticizing anybody because I expect nobody to fight my battles. I fight my own battles. I do not expect it. But I saw some of the stuff in action though, because like when what happened with me, I only saw 2 people publicly speak out against what happened to me. To that person anyway. Like in my chat, people were supportive, but directly to that person, I only saw 2 people tell them that it was wrong. And I didn't go to that chat because I don't want to listen to somebody talk shit about me. Like I have no interest in that. But so maybe I missed something. And I appreciated those 2 people. I don't ask anybody to do that, but it's like people don't care, right? They expect others to defend, right? And that's very true. Everybody's gonna have something to say about something until it happens to them or somebody that they care about or whatever. Nobody can seem to take the names out of it and put themselves in everybody else's shoes. And I don't know, guys. And I feel like people have said, those of us who have been here for a long time, we always had drama here, but it was never like this. It was never this bad. And yeah, and it sucks. It sucks because there's just a lot of hurt. And I don't care if I don't like you or not. I don't want to hear anybody cry. I can't, it doesn't make me feel good. I don't know. Like even if I dislike you with a fiery passion, I don't want to hear you cry. I don't want anybody to feel that hurt. And it breaks my heart. I'm a very compassionate person. I'm empathetic too. So I will be the first to put somebody else before myself. And if that means me staying, not, how do I put this in a way? I would rather not speak about something at all than hurt somebody else like that. So, but at this point in time, that's just in my personal life, I feel like YouTube is different. I have every right to use my platform and my voice to talk about whatever I want. And I don't do anything wrong on here that I'm embarrassed about or ashamed of. And I speak from the heart, and I speak from a place of respect. But at the same time, people want to silence you. They want you to be, my channel is defending AJL. The creators went along. Yeah, well, Captain Caker, not everybody. But not for the reasons I was not part of that at all. But that was just because I don't even consider that as, I actually for some reason consider that separate. And I'm not sure, maybe it's because it's not a channel I really went to, in my mind anyway. But no, I know what you mean, and I agree with you. I saw that as well. And I was actually in my head trying to make a game plan for how I would handle that situation. I never was put in a position where I had to handle it, because they never came to my chat. But it's hard because I don't want anybody to feel hurt. That's the last thing that I want, especially if it happens in my chat. That I don't want. if I can do anything for this community at all, it's to, and I know people are like, there's no safe space on the internet. Well, I don't know. I disagree. I feel like creators do have control over the environment that that they have in their chat. I feel like my chat is something special. I know that there are people here that can get carried away elsewhere that come to my chat and they're perfectly respectful. And I do have the power to call out stuff if I see it in chat. I get that when you get bigger and your chat's flying by, it's hard. But that's why you have mods, and your mods should be on the same page as you and have, know you well enough to know what's okay and what's not. That's just my personal opinion. I look at everything like a business. So for me, that's like but I'm not even in that position. I'm a nobody. So like that doesn't even matter. But I can make this as safe a place as I can. It's not going to be 100% safe place. Obviously, I can't control what comes out of people's mouths, but I can control how I respond to it, and that's what I do. And if I can do anything for the community, it is to offer content that is not, pure drama all the time. It is to create a place where we can discuss things without having it be attributed with one creator or another, which I know is not possible, because I know people are going to see me in certain chats going forward and they're going to be like, well, you've taken a side. That really isn't true. That's not fair, guys. It really isn't. It's just not. I don't like that happens, but it's going to, and I've accepted it, and whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I think that anybody who takes the time to get to know me and know my channel will see that I have no intentions like that, but it is what it is. But I want people to feel like they can come here and not be associated with any other creator. Just be here for me. Be here for what I have to offer. I don't judge anybody. I don't care what creators you support. If I see your name, it doesn't matter where I see your name. I don't even really care what you say elsewhere. As long as you're respectful in my chat, I'm willing. I have no judgment towards anybody. Or else you're somebody who's hurt me personally or done something that I 100% can't get behind. And there have been times that things have bothered me that I've kept my mouth shut about, because that's just how I kind of am as a person. I'm not confrontational at all, like at all. So I pick my battles. So but I realize that doesn't translate over well onto YouTube. But I assure you, my first instinct is confronting somebody privately, which I do. There are a lot of people that can come forward and confirm this, that if they've done something I don't like or that I don't agree with, I am the first one to tell them that. Nobody cares, though, what I have to say. They're like, okay, thank you. Or sometimes they yell at me, more often yell at me. But it is what it is. I tried. But, when it comes to, but that's the thing. Yeah, I'm just a really easygoing person. I don't have a problem with it. Nobody here has, with the exception of a few people, have hurt me personally. And even those who have hurt me personally, I still get over that fairly quickly. It depends what it is, though. It depends what it is. If you're just making, nasty, sarcastic, passive-aggressive comments about places, I will get over that very quickly. I will be angry about it very briefly. I will not like it. It will make me kind of angry for maybe a day, and then I'm over it. I'm good. But if it's other stuff, I'm not. I'll forgive, but I'm not going to forget. And those people who do those, I know that they're capable of it. And I will keep them at arm's length. Because once you break my trust, I know you're capable of that, right? So I'll keep you at arm's length. Why would I want to surround myself with people that are capable of doing those things? That doesn't make sense. That's not my thing. I'm not into what is it? What is it when you deprive oh God, I always get them confused. I'm not masochistic. Is that it? Like a sadist is somebody who likes to inflict pain onto others. Am I correct? But I'm not in, that's not my kink. I'm not into, having people hurt me. So I avoid those people, but a lot of the time people take a long time to show their colors. So, but whatever, but I'm just a nice person and I'm willing to have a conversation with just about anybody, literally just about anybody. And I'm not here to talk or bash people. I'm not here to continue to make videos about just one person. I stopped doing that a long time ago. Anybody who looks at my channel can see it. And my lives are not about any particular person. um, at all for the past, I'd say at least a month, if at all. So I don't know. I'm doing my own thing, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm not going to stop doing it. I have fun on here. I like the people here. I like all of you very much. There's some smart, insightful people. My dad enjoys this community, so that, and he's hard to read, but I don't know. He hasn't always liked everybody I've brought around, so very few people. So the fact that he likes you guys, I'm very happy about that. So there are some really really good people here, and I'm here for them. I'm here for them. Anybody else, I'll handle it as it comes along, but it can't make everybody happy. And the people that do come here and support me and like my videos and participate in my chat and subscribe to me, that's why I do this. I do this for them. I do this for the people who want to be here. And those people like my channel very, very much. My dad is cool. You know what? I've never really had a bad relationship with my dad. Although, yeah, just for the sake of the fact that I might have family listening, I'm not going to go into that. But we've had our ups and downs for sure. But I'm very lucky. I have a great family. I was raised really well, and I had a lot of opportunities. But yeah, I got in some trouble. I got in some trouble as a kid. I've had a hard time. I've had a rough life, but not because of them. Quite the contrary. And my dad, that's what he does. Like he wrote the code of ethics for social work. Like that is his claim to fame. Like ethics, morals, values, very important in my household. Very, very important. My dad would always say, what goes around comes around. Like you treat others the way you would like to be treated. Values like that. We're a weird family. Like we didn't, I'll say, actually, thank you. Nobody's even listening to me right now, but that's okay because I'm still going to talk about this. So I've been open about this a little bit. I was raised Jewish, like very religiously, actually. Like my parents are conservative. So, we went to temple every Saturday. We did Shabbat dinner every Friday night. Sometimes we would go to temple for that as well. We were I went to a Jewish day school from grades 1 to 4. I mean, half the day was in Hebrew, the other half was I can read Hebrew. I don't know what I'm reading, but I can read it to you. But, I don't practice religion right now, like as an adult, I just don't. But, I celebrate Christmas in my home, guys. So I was raised a pretty religious Jew. I do Christmas in my house. We have Christmas wish lists on my refrigerator. So I just wanted to make that very clear as well. Because there are a lot of people that like to say that you can't celebrate Christmas if you're a Jew, I guess. But I don't know. The generation that I know, the people that are my age, we have a very different take on religion. At least that's all, guys. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about that. But that was how I was raised. Like I was raised just to be a good person. And that's been what's been important in my family. Like we didn't ever do like Hanukkah gifts. We sponsored a group home with 8 boys, and any money that would go towards getting us gifts would go to them to buy them Christmas gifts for these kids who had nothing. Every week we would have to divide our money into, we would have, it's called tzedakah, but it's charity. That's the is that Hebrew word? It's either Hebrew. Yeah, I think it's Hebrew word. I should know that. I don't know why I don't know that. Yeah. But it's charity. So I'd get my allowance and I'd have to divide it, short-term savings, long-term savings, spending, and charity. And that's like, that's how I was raised. I had a really weird childhood. Like we weren't allowed to have anything with like everybody else had like super soakers and like Nerf guns. No, I had my squirt dolphins, and whales and like other sea creatures, because I wasn't allowed to have anything like a gun type thing. Like that was more my mom. But I had an interesting upbringing. I was just raised to be a good person. I was raised to care about other people, right? So I don't know. That's why I see, like, it's legit. I mean, people have met my dad. Like, I don't know, but people still are going to question what you're about, and they're going to say that it's fake or whatever. But people will see in time. People will see in time that I'm not here for the wrong reasons. I'm here because this is how I ended up in this community. I have no effing clue. Sometimes I question that very, very much myself, but it's Watts Island. That is what brought me here. But I'm glad it did. You know, as crazy as this community is, I've met some people who I consider I'm very friendly with. Some that I do consider friends. Um, and that, you know, I would defend if I ever, but they're subscribers, so it's not like they don't really put themselves in any position where I would have to, but I would if I had to, because they have gotten to that level of friendship with me. But it takes a while. But yeah, I don't know, guys. That's it for tonight. I do have a lot more to say on everything, and I do need to go to my phone and look at my notes app, but I'm not going to bore everybody tonight. And I hope, you know, that's what I'm trying to say though. I hope that people can give me a chance here. Like, give my videos a chance. Watch my content. You know, the stuff that isn't drama. Tell me what you think. Go watch the videos with my dad and him talking about criminal justice and stuff like that. And you know, then come back to me and tell me I'm boring, right? So, you know, you can do that. And I even think, like, you know, I did a trailer for my deep dive on the Columbine massacre. You wanna know how long that video took me? I don't even want to tell you. It took me about 7 hours to get all of the material and put it all together and time it and do all of that. And I do that because I enjoy doing those things. And yeah, you know, and people, yeah, I don't know. So 7 hours, 7 hours, guys. But I would do it again. And I don't know. We're going to do some good stuff here. We have good conversations, especially when my dad's on here. We have really good conversations that I enjoy. And actually, I learn something new every time he comes on here, because I have not heard all of his stories. I do not know everything. Some of these things have been news to me. So it's a first time for me hearing some of it as well. But yes, he has agreed to come on. I think next week. I'm not gonna spoil the topic quite yet, because if I say it out loud right now on here, it might sound kind of boring, but I promise you it's not boring. Like, if you're into true crime, you will like this topic. Or if you're into what my dad has talked about, like, so far, you will like this topic. But if I had to, like, put a name on it right now, people would be like, oh, okay, well, probably not for me. But I promise you guys, you'll like it. I promise. Pinky promise. And I mean pinky promises. Pinky promises are like serious business. I don't go back on pinky promises. That's like wrong. That's like, you know, against everything I believe in. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, yeah. And I'll start coming on camera more often, I guess. Like, you know, it's kind of like baptism by fire, right? So if people can appreciate me and not make fun of me with prednisone face, then people can if you can appreciate me at my prednisone face, you can appreciate me always. And that's the funniest part though, guys, is that, you know, but prior to having a channel and being a creator, I had been on a few panels before, and I was always on camera. I only started not being on camera when I became a creator. So there's that. But I can look like a bunch of different people depending on if I have my hair up, if I have my glasses on. It depends. It really depends. I have literally been told that I literally look like it, I think 4 different people at this point, but that's all right. And wait, what is that noise? I have too many animals in this. I have so many cats and they go crazy. Oh my God. But yes. I have like some like a feral colony that kind of I let into my basement at night. Yes, I know I'm a crazy cat lady. I know it's a problem, but they don't live in my house. They're just here at night, but especially over the winter, they'll probably be outside more this, you know, coming up. But I have a feral colony that I let in through the basement window. That's right. Because I can't. It breaks my heart to see kitties outside in the cold like that. It's not their fault. And people aren't nice to cats around here in my neighborhood at all. I've seen people throw fireworks at cats. It's gross. It's gross. So I'm very protective. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing my own thing. I'm just going to keep being myself. And I hope people come along for the ride. I really do. I like the people here. And we're going to do some good things. And if people want to be a part of it, that's great. If not, you're welcome to join down the line too. And my message to any of the 126 people that have, you know, unsubscribed to me this month, I wish you would give me a second chance on that. But if I'm not what you're looking for, you know, that's all good. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. I just encourage people to look at the reasons why you do what you do, and think to yourself, if my suspicions are correct, you know, are you doing things for the right reasons? Not with that, but just I'm talking about in general, not subscribing to me, but I'm just saying in general, like that's going to be taken like out of context. What I mean is like, if you're calling like CP, if you're doing that, like think about it for a reason and think about like, are we doing this from a place of caring, or is this because I'm trying to get back at somebody? Oh my God, my cat is screeching. Dumb. They all are. Oh my God. It drives me crazy, guys. This is what I do to myself with all the cats. But yeah, they're very distracting. But yeah, like just stop before you say something and really consider, like, am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I saying this for the right reasons? That's all. That's all I can encourage. That's my only words of wisdom for tonight. Is just try to remember that everybody behind one of these pictures is a human being with feelings, and take that in mind. I don't know. I'm tired of hearing people cry. There are people that I like very much on here that I've heard cry lately. And some of it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And there's just a lot of hurt. There's a lot of hurt. And it's like people, when something really bad happens to somebody that people don't like, it's like some people get giddy about it. Like, it's like you go into a chat and it's almost like they just won a giant football game. They're like all so excited and happy that this happened to somebody. And that's sick. Like, no, and it's weird. It's like a weird phenomena. Like, I can't. Oh no. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, but like, let's turn the tables. Let's say that happened to the creator that you're in the chat supporting. Then suddenly it would be a problem, right? But it's not if it happens to somebody you don't like. Like, just use your brains. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're listening to this on replay, or if you're listening right now, if you want to hit that thumbs up, that helps me get into the algorithm. That helps me break away from all of the chains that have kind of like, brought my channel down recently, to get me out there to people that might be interested in what I'm doing now, with my dad and everything like that. I will still do commentary on the community. I'm not stopping doing that. I don't consider what I do drama, and I am convinced of this thoroughly. And I'm going to continue doing that too. So there's something for you there too. If you like to hear what I have to say about the community, I will continue to do that as well. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, but I hope everybody has a great night. I will almost positive be on tomorrow at some point. I've been trying to go on at different times, but it seems that most people are available in like the early evening, show up to my chats. But that was my plan today. But then everybody and their mother was live, so I was like, it would be pointless because nobody would show up. But I'm happy that everybody who stopped by to say hello. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing the raffle of the autographed copies of my dad's book so far. I meant to do that tonight, but because I got so like sidetracked with things, I have like a bingo, those like bingo collar things. I don't know, like the basket that you'd like. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I have one of those. I got it at it's not a dollar store, but it's like, I can't explain it to you. It's like a store that buys overstock from other stores and then sells it at a discount. But I don't know. So I found it there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this. So I have that, and I'm gonna draw some names for those. I was gonna do it today, but I didn't put everybody's name. I have it all like listed, but I didn't put everybody's name on a piece of paper and throw it into it. So I need to still do that. But we're gonna do that tomorrow as well, and I'll probably be on camera for that. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys tomorrow.